everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I'm going to be chatting about some new products. Some of them came through PR, some of them are things that I've ordered and I just haven't really addressed here yet on my channel, and it's kind of like a playing catch-up type of video. I just want to experience these products and I want you to see them in action as well. And also, it must be allergies because I just recently had a cold and I got the stomach virus and I'm feeling pretty congested this morning, so bear with me on that. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is another $3 bargain shirt from Walmart. I just get a kick out of getting really cheap clothes. So this first thing, I got a little PR package from Catrice. And I don't feel like stuff comes in from them that often, and this is a brand you're going to need to look to their own website or Amazon for these products, but they had a little pack of primers for different needs, and actually I pulled out two that I thought I might use them both today. I got the Hydrator, the Plump and Fresh primer with aloe vera, and also I pulled out the Perfector, the Poreless Blur primer with niacinamide in it. So let's try them both. I can use a little bit of extra moisture from this one, so it looks actually clear. This is the Hydrator. Oh, that feels nice on the skin. Nice little bit of thickness to it, but primarily, you know, it's adding moisture. It's adding kind of the look of a glow to my skin for sure. Wow, that feels really nice, really hydrating. It kind of reminds me of the feel I get after I put on my Hard Candy 12-Hour Makeup Grip Primer, but maybe not quite the stickiness, but it is still just a little bit tacky. Now let's try the Poreless Blur. I always say this, but sometimes with the blurring primers, you don't quite know what it's doing until you put your coverage product on top, but this has sort of a thick, moussey quality. And let's see what we get really going around the nose. That's where I got some pores. It's super smooth. It feels absolutely silky. If you're super duper dry, you might actually feel like this primer is a little drying on the surface of the skin. Actually, it doesn't offer any extra moisture. It's about the pore blurring. So I feel like as I swipe it on, it probably is a little bit mattifying, but I'm not really going to know what it did for the pores until the foundation gets on. Bub was in a 2-day golf tournament over the weekend, and it started right after he got back from his legal conference in St. Louis, so I just feel like I haven't seen the guy in a long time. Actually, I feel like I deserve some kind of reward for holding it all together for these days. The kids did get to go to Nana and Papa's house yesterday afternoon, though, and that was amazing. I felt like over these last few days, if you've got multiple kids under your roof, it's hard to stay on top of the messes they're making. Like, especially when they're in like toy mode and they're playing and they're wanting to find this or that, and they're getting it all out. And even if you're like kind of swooping in and cleaning some stuff up, straightening some stuff up, it's like you never get on top of it because it just keeps happening. It's like you're trying to rake leaves on a windy day, you know? And then they go somewhere for a little while and it's like, wow. You know, I did that and it lasted and it looks nice now. my living room looks so nice. And oh, the big thing has been like Belle's gotten big into like crafts and like she's creating a dress. She's cut out the dress. She's made a Kleenex lining for this dress. She's acting like she's designing a fashion thing here. She's put prints on, she's taped a ribbon on, and it's actually really cool. She's like, I think I might want to be a fashion designer one day. But bless her heart, she's used every piece of every craft material we have in this home. So I cleaned up the area where she was working. I was like, I can breathe again. So yeah, just getting on top of the mess. I ordered myself some Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm like, this place is getting clean tonight. And they even forgot all my sauces, but I'm not bitter about it. I use my own ranch, but I didn't have a good substitute for the Southwest ranch that they make. I love that. I got it through DoorDash. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's use this. I haven't used this in a while. This is my Neutrogena Sensitive Skin Serum Foundation. It's under the Healthy Skin umbrella. I know I've used this before. I have it in light medium 02, but I just hadn't really gone back to it much. I didn't have a brand new like PR foundation that had come to me or anything really new foundation wise that I've purchased recently. So I'm just going back to something that's a little bit new-ish but underused. The dropper works well. Hi, biscuits. Okay, so I'm just going to use my double-ended brush from e.l.f. Ooh, that looks pretty. Like, just the finish on the skin looks pretty from that. It's light coverage. It's lighter than the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. What's it called? True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. There's too many words in that name. But it also looks a little glowier on the skin, I think. And I do feel like the pores on my nose are looking pretty good. I'm not seeing them much. Oh, look who came. This is Baby Biscuits. Yeah, you got something on your face, Mommy. Can you hear the purrs? Oh, I love her so much. I now have a lap cat during this. Kittens are doing great. They're just growing so fast. This one got shut in the closet last night. She did pull all the contents off of one shelf, but that's my fault for accidentally shutting her in. So here we are with that all blended in. This is lighter coverage than the Healthy Skin liquid makeup, and this is again lighter coverage just because I think about it having the dropper and being that similar format to the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. It's lighter than that. It's a little more glowy than that, and I like it. It's just a light to medium coverage product, adding some hydration to the skin but not feeling overwhelming. Next up, several things that I bought from Ulta. I saw they had these little Milani, like, what do we want to call these? The Conceal and Perfect, like, cream products. They have a brightening concealer, which I got in the kind of pinky peach shade called Rose. I got their contour wand and also a highlighter one. And I thought I'd use all of those. I'm going to use this as my concealer today. I've just used these a couple times, so I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around what I think of them. But you're going to squeeze and it's going to come out through the little spongy tip, okay? So I feel like maybe they're trying to make something that behaves like, you know, the Charlotte Tilbury products that are like this. When I first used this, I thought, you know, it's a nice concept, but I wish there was more coverage in this. We'll see today. I think I might have been a little more generous with the amount I put on today. But it is really light. I don't think I prefer it over the brightener shade of Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, the concealer. I love that one so much. This is doing something. I mean, it's for sure doing some brightening, but I just feel like it's lighter when it comes to the coverage. See, we've got some brightening there. We've got some coverage. It's just, I feel like the Instant Age Rewind Brightener would do what this does, but just pop on more coverage. So after that step, I am going to set this. And this is a super random setting powder from my own collection that I've been playing with a little bit that I think has been working actually really well. It's the Dermablend Loose Setting Powder. I just have it here in this small size. And I don't know, I've had this for probably a little over a year, and I use it from time to time. But the other day I whipped it out and I thought, you know, it's actually better than I remember. It's basically a white powder, and I tap some in there and I use my little puff. I'm just going to go over my under eye, and I'm also going to do my T-zone with this. I think I prefer it over like a really full coverage look. I wore this over Shape Tape for a couple days, and I really liked how it wore and just how it looked. I think this is going to help my staying power today. I just want a little more coverage on the under eye. Maybe I'm coming off of too many days using Shape Tape to really appreciate this product now, because I'm like, I just want all that coverage again. So I'm putting on quite a bit, and then I'll dust away. We were in a parade over the weekend, me and the children, called the Apple Festival where we live, and it was for cheerleading. So they didn't do any like big performance, but they're just like walking in the parade, and it's a long parade. And I thought, well, I'll stroll Bubba in it because they said parents can come walk too. So I threw him in a little shirt from their cheer gym and just strolled him along. And I mean, the worst part is just the waiting for everything to get going. You get there early and then you have to wait because our spot was, I think, maybe toward the end of the whole parade lineup. It wasn't as time consuming as the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, but it was close. But he did well once we got rolling. I mean, it was hot, but I just kept his little like snack area on his stroller stocked with either one of those little like kids Sesame Street Nutri-Grain type bars, some fruit snacks, or some goldfish. And if he didn't want them, he just threw them. And I'm like, okay, that's his throwing candy. Where was Bub? He was in the golf tournament. Yep, 2-day golf tournament. Okay, so we did this, the light shade of the Conceal and Perfect. We set it. We're making the most of the situation, even though that wasn't amazing coverage. Now we're going to use the Conceal and Perfect Liquid Contour shade. I got the shade Ginger. There were a range of colors, so I think maybe one or two lighter and some deeper as well. My nose is actually running. Okay, great. So intensity-wise, this shade is somewhere in the middle, and I'm just going to blend out, and it's crazy how much this is just reminding me of my Instant Age Rewind eraser that I bought on Bethany Frankel's recommendation in the deeper shade, shade 148. to contour with. It feels just like that, just maybe thinner and a little bit less coverage. Again, these are lighter than the Age Rewind products. I'm blending it in with some ease. I do like this tone. Again, it ran somewhere in the middle of the pack of their color offerings. And I think I might even like it a little bit better because I don't need a ton of coverage and thickness coming out of my contour, my liquid contour product. See, that gave me a little extra color, gave me a little contour, but if you want something heavier, something that shows up a little more pronounced on the skin, the Instant Age Rewind Eraser, it's almost an identical tone to this, just like more pigment, more coverage, and it's in shade 148. Then we're gonna do a blush and we'll come back to the little liquid highlighter we have. For blush, I got some things from Lawless sent to me. Yeah, I've somehow gotten on their PR list, and they sent out this little thing called the Daisy Collection. And I guess Annie, the one who's created the line, created like these few little products inspired by her daughter. It says, when I was pregnant, we brought you the baby collection, and now this is the Daisy collection. So the blush here is in Daisy Pink. So I thought I would pop that on today. That looks really pretty, a nice cool pink. It's a powder blush. I've dabbled in this line a little bit. I mean, I really like the One and Done mascara. That may have been how they found out about me, because this mascara I really, really like. That's pretty, by the way, on the cheeks. It's not kicking up any fallout whatsoever. I'm kind of scrubbing into it just a little. Like, it's not one of those blushes that just immediately picks up a ton, but the pop on the cheeks ultimately that I'm getting is very, like, healthy, very youthful. And it does have a sheen, by the way. It looks matte to look at it right there in the pan, but if you swatch it on your finger, you can definitely see there is some sheen. Isn't that great? I love that color. That is so nice, so fresh. This shade, like I said, it's not really a little bit goes a long way blush. I do like it. I'm not sure it's a complete, like, I'm so taken aback, it's a total love, but it's good. Ultimately, I like this color on my cheeks. So I just blew my nose. So I'm applying a little more concealer because I think I'm done with that for now. Putting a little more of the brightener concealer shade on. And by the way, we'll be coming back to the additional lip colors that were part of that little Daisy line too. I'm gonna grab just a little powder here, Dermablend. Okay, nose, can we hold it together for just a little while longer? The final part of this little Milani trifecta that I picked up is the liquid highlighter. I got it in the shade 01 Lunar. It looks a little bit golden, but I tried to go for what appeared to be like the brightest shade, and I'm just going to put some dots right up in here. See that? A little bit here. Okay, and I'll just dab over this. It's kind of wanting to set in place a little faster than I'd like. It's not terrible, but I didn't remember it trying to do that the first time I wore it. But giving us some little extra glow there. It's fine. It's not like, wow. If we're talking drugstore and liquid format, I prefer the brightness I get from the Wet n Wild. I think it's called Hello Halo. It's their liquid highlighter. There's a really brightening shade in that, and it's beautiful on the skin. It's a really nice, pretty product. Also, just their Jumbo Stick highlighter. That's really beautiful. This one, I still feel like it's kind of trying to stick to the original place where I put it. Like it's blended out a little bit, but I don't want to have to rough up the surface of my skin that much in order to blend it in. Like it's okay, but it's not the best. In my opinion, the best part of these three cream face products that I tried are liquid face products. The liquid contour, I really like that. I think its sheerness is very, very workable for what you're using it for. Easy to blend, nice tone. I really like it. This, you know, doing the job, but I would much prefer to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Brightener over that. And then, like I just said, so there are some other great highlights out there. Okay, next up, we've got more Lawless stuff, and this time it's brows. So they sent their Shape Up Soft Fill Brow Pencil and also the Hold Up Soft Set Creamy Brow Wax. This is a little card. It says brow is here, and they put up some little like before and afters with these products. So let's just see how it goes. You know, I'm sometimes a little critical of brow stuff because I feel like everything kind of behaves the same. We got a spoolie on one end here, and I'm using the shade Pecan, which is the second to darkest in their lineup. Pecan is neutral deep brown, and then they go on to have a neutral rich black brown. The shape is actually a little bit thicker. It's an oval shape, so it's going to be a little bigger than your Brow Wiz size of pencil. But let's see how we do here filling in. I swatched it out, and it really seemed like it would be an an appropriate shade. It seems like it's going onto the skin with ease, but the texture does not seem too wet. I feel like maybe I got a little heavy with it on the inner part, so hopefully the spoolie can help us out a little. Brush it on through. It's feeling like a bit much on that eye, and that's just me, you know, that's just the way I put it on, I guess. It must be transferring down more color more easily than I thought it would. But it's still, I swear, it doesn't feel like a goopy, out-of-control pencil. But the surface area that it's laying down, you have to know that it is more than a Brow Wiz or any of those skinny ones. And I have been using a lot of skinny pencils lately, so maybe that's just it. It's like just deceptively pigmented. So basically some pretty thick looking brows at this point. I guess you just got to take it really, really easy with this, even though as I like went across my hand, I didn't feel like it was anything unusually soft or like laying down a lot of product. I think maybe just the thickness of the pencil, like that oval shape, does put down more than a smaller pencil does, so keep that in mind. Now we have the Hold Up Soft Set Creamy Brow Wax, and this I have in the shade Medium Dark. Oh my gosh, it's just the tiniest little brush. It's just like 3 or 4 little spirals around there. Take that up through. This does feel like it has some hold. It's kind of hard for me to tell how much color it's putting down because my brows just have so much color in them to begin with. But wow, that's a thick brow. That is thick. Okay. It definitely is helping the little hairs stand up though. For the eyeshadow, I had purchased this Love Fest palette from Huda Beauty, and it is really, really pretty. It's got some kind of glitzy shades in here and then a lot of kind of fall toned mattes, I'd have to say. So this is new. This came out really recently, and I'm going to throw on a little bit of Milani eyeshadow primer, and then we'll do a little look with this. So I've used this one a few times. It's an interesting palette, I will say. It's unique. The contrast between these kinds of tones and the matte tones is a little bit different than what we see in some other palettes. So I'm going to go for this shade right here. It's kind of peachy, and it really shows up a little more vibrant on the eyes than you think you're going to get out of that color in the pan. Generally speaking, I do really like Huda's formulas, her textures. You know, I feel like they apply well, they apply fully without being like really obnoxious and super powdery. And just blending the edge of that out with a bare brush. A thing you don't get in here is like a really light highlight type of shade. Okay, I'm now going to deepen things up a little bit in my crease. I'm going to go up here to this pretty terracotta kind of reddish orange. Get a little bit of that in the outer corner. Wow, and see, that really like livens up that color a lot. Tons of pigment in here. I think it's the kind of palette you might glance at on a website and be like, okay, fall vibes kind of, really nice, but it's so vibrant. You really need to be ready for that. A couple of deep shades we have here, this dark kind of rosy brown and then a dark, I would call it plummy brown. I'm gonna go to that one with my flat brush now. And just start laying that down on the outer lid. I do love when a plum shade kind of meets up with an orangey color like that. Really, really pretty, kind of a sunset eyes type of look. And then I'm just going to take that little crease brush that I was first working with, you know how we do, kind of go in there and blend a bit. I think I'm going to go in with a smaller brush too, because I feel like there's an area of the crease that didn't really get any product in it. Smallish brush, straight into that. See, just making sure that the deepest part of the actual crease gets some color in it, and then it fades out from there. Then we're thinking, well, what kind of glitzy part do we want to add into this look? I'm going to go down here to this shade that looks like it's got kind of some pink in it. It's got some sparkle. It can apply with the brush, but I will say I kind of prefer the effect with the finger just because it feels like it's more deliberately laying down and you can really see the color. So look at this. So fun, right? That's a really fun little contrast there. And then your other tones, I'll swatch this one. This is more like kind of bluish purpley. And then up here, it is not a glitter. It's just a swirled kind of shade, swirl of pink and plum. It's actually pretty deep. That could even go in your crease. Again, I'm just kind of starting out with the brush, just starting to get that shade placed, which can give you actually one kind of application. You know, look at this eye versus the other eye. We've got the color there. We've got some shimmer, but then you go in with a finger and it's like, yeah, it can lay down kind of thick. Also going to take my dark shade with small pointed and come down here a little bit. So it's a fun little palette. I would just say be ready for a real color punch, because that's what it gives you. You know, the mattes are bold and intense, and the shimmers are just very prominent too. There's really no hiding from pigmented color where this palette is concerned. Really pretty look. Generally speaking, it's a like, not a love. I don't feel like it's the palette that I'm always going to be like tempted to reach for often, because again, it's sometimes a bolder look than I'm wanting, you know? And like I said, there's no hiding from those shimmers. You just kind of got to ask yourself, what am I in the mood for eyeshadow wise most days? But it has this neat little love fest, fun little top to the palette. Then for eyeliners, this was another PR thing. Persona sent their pencil liners, which I'm familiar with a lot of things from Persona's line. I love the palettes like the Identity 1 and 2. They've done some pretty blush sticks. But then one fine day I get this package and it just says 24-hour waterproof eyeliner is back in stock. So, okay. I didn't really know about this and we're going to try it now. So I'm going to go with the plum today. I feel like I just said in my last video where I mentioned Urban Decay 24/7 liner, kind of discussing the fact that drugstore liners have kind of gotten better. The bar has been raised for soft, creamy pencil liners, but man, this is really creamy, that plum. I just want to cross the lash line. It's not maybe showing up as prominently as a color could because I'm going on top of a real similar shade here, this plummy outer corner that I have, but I can definitely tell that that's laying down, and it is laying down with ease. Beautiful glide. Persona's kind of reminding me a little bit of M Cosmetics in terms of being a brand that puts out products not in a real hurry, but everything they do really is nice quality and just very enjoyable to apply. You can tell it's been well thought out. I appreciate that. I'm going to throw on some mascara. I don't have a new one. I think I'll use my Lawless one today since we've been doing some chat about that brand. I'm going to use my One and Done and I'll be right back. So that's the Lawless mascara, the One and Done. I really like this stuff. I feel like it's a very nice thickening and lengthening mascara and it just builds up super fast. It's really close to superhero in that way. And then finishing out this look, we have the other two parts of that Lawless Daisy collection. There's a lipstick and then the Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. I do have a couple of these and this one seems to be in kind of like a soft pinky shade. The lipstick is this nude color, so let's throw that on. Yeah, super nude, kind of a pink tone. Very light pink, kind of reminding me of like Cream Cup or something from MAC. There is a magnetic closure there. I really like the packaging on the Lawless products. Again with the light pink on this gloss. Although these glosses, if this is anything like the other one I have, they tend to be pretty sheer, but this one does have some color. I'm just going to work it in with my finger a little bit more. It's pretty. It's a little bit of a lighter nude thing than I normally would go for. I'm going to give it just a gentle blot here. I'm going to go with it though, because doing something different doesn't hurt to do something different every now and then. Just because you're not used to seeing it on your face doesn't mean it's a problem. But this is my finished look, you guys. I'm trying out some new products. In terms of what I really enjoyed most, I think those Catrice primers are actually nice. This hydrating one in particular felt amazing going across the skin. This Neutrogena Serum Foundation, like I said, this wasn't brand new for this video, but I do like it. I'm liking the way it's looking underneath everything else. It's light to medium coverage. It does have a little bit of a glow, but yet it's not sticky on the skin. I enjoy it and I want to wear that more often. Also, this from Milani. I think the best part of their liquid products is the liquid contour for sure. And I like this Persona eyeliner too. This plum shade looks really pretty coordinating with this look. And I like how it becomes kind of like a soft eyeliner because I'm pairing it with shades that it really matches up with, you know. I'm excited to play with some of the other colors. The other tones are black, bronze, and brown. So So kind of like all the basics in that line. Again, I like the Huda palette, but I think there's a specific audience for it. I think you've got to really desire that high contrast sort of pop from the shades. There's a lot of color in those shades. So thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.